Anas Aremeyaw Anas has replied to Honorable Kennedy Agyapong after Honorable Kennedy Agyapong and his team jubilated made mockery of him for slashing down his $18 million defamation suit to just $500.
Maybe we have to give Anas 5,000.
Relax. Now, I show video to the very last end. Response Anas Aremeyaw Anas directly to Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. If you are watching this video on YouTube, now subscribe here. Please, yes, sure, do well to subscribe. We share video way on TikTok and X, full video of Vimbas on YouTube. I believe we all are following what is happening between Honorable Kennedy Agyapong and investigative journalist Anas Aremeyaw Anas. So a few weeks ago, Anas in a court in USA won over Honorable Kennedy Agyapong in terms of defamation suit, how they call. Now, the court awarded Anas $18 million in that particular suit, and the person who was supposed to pay was Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. A lot of people jubilated. In fact, in Crawford PNG said, finally, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong just obeyed rough. Well, he had his own plans. So he went back to have a meeting with the lawyers, to which they went back to court and then pleading with the court to review the amount. So the ruling just came a few hours ago. According to the ruling, almost say the $18 million almost the ball Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, to which he was supposed to pay to Anas Aremeyaw Anas, is too much. It's too much. And also, so he should just pay $500. However, everything that is said against Anas Aremeyaw Anas truly was defamatory according to the court. The only place they were reviewing was the fact that $18 million. Now, after this particular ruling by Honorable Kennedy Agyapong was at a funeral, right, out of Accra. Our honor, or see good news, you could see so he was jubilating together with the family, together with the lawyers, and in the team, to the extent he was even making mockery of Anas Aremeyaw Anas say zero back $500 no $5,000 instead of $500. Well, Anas has replied to Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. As you see on the screen, Tiger IPI firm a war Anas as a actual letter explaining the ruling and directly responded to Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. So as you see, our victory is in the judgment and not the award. As Ghanaians may recall, a couple of weeks ago, an American jury found Honorable Kennedy Agyapong guilty of maliciously defaming my character. Consequent to the finding by the jury, an amount of $18 million was awarded in my favor against Kennedy Agyapong. Following the award, Kennedy Agyapong filed a motion for remittitur, asking the judge to reduce the amount awarded against him. That's inherent in his motion. Kennedy Agyapong admitted to having maliciously defamed me. Today, the trial judge granted Kennedy Agyapong's motion for remittitur and reduced the initial award to $500. This means that while the judge held that Kennedy Agyapong had defamed me, in his reasoning, the award against Kennedy Agyapong by the jury was excessive. Many avenues of redemption accrue to me, but it is important to state, as I previously did, that this fight has not been about the money, but rather a fight for truth and justice. I am happy that not a single allegation was proven against me in court when Kennedy Agyapong was given full opportunity to substantiate. I will continue in my relentless fight against corruption, and in doing that, continue to name shame and jail. Signed, Tiger IPI. Now, according to Anas in this response, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong jubilating, jumping here and there, making mockery of him here, because his main aim wasn't about the $18 million. As he earlier said, his aim was to clean his name. Say he is not a murderer, he is not corrupt, he doesn't take bribes, as alleged by Honorable Kennedy Agyapong a few years ago against his character. I say once the court has ruled that truly Honorable Kennedy Agyapong defamed him, that whatsoever he said wasn't true, and even when they gave Honorable Kennedy Agyapong the opportunity to, redeem himself, he couldn't. No, say he is happy. He doesn't care about $80 million, $500 or even $1 because he doesn't care about the money. So this is the response. Anas Aremeyaw Anas about the camp of Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. What do you have to say about this? Kindly let us know under the comment section. Once again, if you are watching this video, when you subscribe, yes, sure, do well to subscribe. Now, as a sign off, during the first ruling or right after the ruling, Anas Aremeyaw Anas did a video. Mama shared that particular video after so winning $18 million. Vimbas TV so.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I stand before you not just as a journalist, but as a witness to history, a child of Ghana's turbulent past, and a soldier in the fight for truth. Yesterday in the Essex County Superior Court of New Jersey, an 8-member jury delivered a unanimous verdict holding Kennedy Agyapong, former Ghanaian MP, liable for defamation and awarding damages of $18 million. The ruling is more than a legal victory. It is a profound affirmation that truth matters, that justice is not a privilege of the powerful, and that the arc of history does indeed bend towards righteousness. My story begins long before this moment. I was born at the 37 Military Barracks in Accra, the son of the soldier who served in an era where power belonged to those who wielded the gun. I grew up watching my nation transition from military rule to democracy, witnessing firsthand the struggle of ordinary Ghanaians yearning for justice, transparency, and accountability. When Ghana finally embraced democracy, I knew that safeguarding it required more than just laws. It needed the unyielding courage of those willing to hold power accountable. That is why I chose journalism, not as a career, but as a calling. Over the years, my team and I have exposed corruption at the highest levels, from the corridors of politics to the halls of justice. But in fighting the corrupt, one becomes a target. Mr. Agyapong, in a desperate bid to silence me, labeled me a land grabber, an extortionist, a murderer, a tax evader, and a blackmailer who ought to be hanged. These were not just lies. They were calculated attempts to destroy my credibility and put my life in danger. While Ghana's legal system failed to deliver justice in 2018, the U.S. court upheld truth. This case was not easy. Proving defamation in the United States requires establishing actual malice by a clear and convincing evidence standard, one of the highest legal thresholds in the world. That the jury ruled 8-0 in my favor on every count is a testament to the fact that Mr. Agyapong acted with reckless disregard. Regrettably, Ghana's justice system has not always lived up to the principles of fairness and impartiality. When I sued Mr. Agyapong in 2018, despite his inability to legally substantiate his allegations, the court ruled against me, with Justice Barr scandalously branding me a terrorist instead of adjudicating the facts before him. This miscarriage of justice was later condemned by Supreme Court Justice Kolindi, who rightly described it as a violent abuse of judicial authority. My fight has never been for personal gain, but for the soul of Ghana's democracy. This victory in the US sends a powerful message. The media cannot be silenced, truth cannot be buried, and those who wield power must be held accountable. Let this moment be a wake-up call to all who seek to erode the foundations of justice in Ghana. Let it remind us that democracy is not just about elections, but institutions that uphold the truth, courts that deliver justice without fear or favor, and citizens who refuse to accept corruption as the norm. To my legal team, Andrew Dehere Esquire, Arthur Womega Esquire, Evans Salasi Adeka Esquire, and Odei Kro Esquire, I am forever grateful for your dedication to justice. And to my supporters in Ghana and around the world, your unwavering belief in the fight strengthens my resolve. The battle against corruption continues. We will name, shame, and jail. Ghana deserves better, and I will never stop fighting for a future where justice is not a privilege of the powerful, but the right of every citizen. Thank you.
Vimbaz TV.